Hi students, welcome back. Now we will read Lesson 8 Tourism and History. In this chapter, we will read about tourism in the past, section 8.2 Types of Tourism, 8.3 Development of Tourism, 8.4 Conservation and Preservation of Historical Places, 8.5 Professional Opportunities in the Tourism and Hospitality Industry. So let's start. Tourism in the past. The tradition of traveling is quite old in India. People used to travel for various reasons like pilgrimage, going to local fairs and festivals, in search of a renowned teacher and good education for trade, etc. In brief, from ancient times, people took to travel for various reasons. Do you know the Buddhist literature tells us that Gautam Buddha traveled to several cities in ancient India for preaching. Buddhist monks were ordained not to stay at one place but keep traveling continuously to various places. Jain monks, sadhus, also used to travel constantly. Yuan Shuai, Yuan Shuang, the Chinese monk, traveled to India in 630 CE. In the medieval period, Saint Namdev, Saint Eknath, Guru Nanak, Ramdas Swami traveled extensively in India. Tourism. Tourism can be defined as traveling to visit places in distant regions for a specific purpose. In the later half of the 19th century CE, the name of Thomas Cook is noteworthy in the context of tourism history. He organized a trip by railway from Leicester to Loughborough for about 600 people. Later, he was successful in organizing a round trip of Europe. Let's see in the orange pink box. Do you know Benjamin of Tudela is known as the first European traveler or discoverer? He was born in Spain. During the period 1159 to 1173 CE, he traveled to France, Germany, Italy, Greece, Syria, Arabia, Egypt, Iraq, Persia, India, and China. He maintained diaries of the accounts of his travels. His diaries are viewed as important historical documents. Marco Polo, the Italian traveler of the 13th century, introduced Asia, especially China, to Europe. He stayed in China for 17 years. He wrote about the flora and fauna, social life, culture, and trade systems of China. Ibn Battuta, the traveler of the 14th century, took the world on a virtual travel of the Islamic world with his travel accounts. He was traveling for 30 years. He had resolved not to travel twice on the same route. His accounts are helpful in understanding the medieval history and social life. Gerardus Mercator, Mercator. Gerardus Mercator of 16th century was a cartographer. He is known for creating a world map and globe of Earth. His work proved to be very useful for navigation around the world. Eventually, he established a travel agency selling tourist tickets. This early venture of Thomas Cook opened doors for the development of modern tourism. Do you know The tradition of traveling from corner to corner was prevalent in India from ancient times. Vishnu Bhatt Godse wrote down the accounts of his journey from Maharashtra to Ayodhya and back to Maharashtra. It is published as a book entitled Maza Pravas, My Journey. Vishnu Bhatt traveled during times of the Indian War of Independence in 1857. He was the eyewitness for many events related to the historical event. His accounts are full of detailed descriptions about various incidences during this period, especially those about the life of life of Lakshmi Bai, the Queen of Jhansi. We also get to know the nature of Marathi language of the 18th century. This book is one of the important sources of history of that period. Now, section 8.2, types of tourism. These days, tourism has become an independent field of local, interstate, national and international business. The desire to visit national and international monuments, places of historical importance and natural beauty, ancient centers known for handicrafts, pilgrim centers, industrial centers, and sites of various developmental projects, etc., promotes tourism. Tourists from all over the world wish to visit natural and man made sites, which offer a delightful and inspiring experience. The places like snow capped peaks, beaches, pristine jungles, which were neglected previously, become important locations of tourist interest. Mass media began to make special audiovisual presentations highlighting places of tourist interest. Tourism can be broadly type- typified into local tourism, interstate tourism, international tourism, religious tourism, historical tourism, health tourism, science tourism, agro-tourism, sports tourism, tourism based on special events, etc. Local and interstate tourism. This kind of tourism is not very overwhelming because it is within one's own country. It does not cause difficulties of language, procuring currency, and documents. More so, we can plan it at the time suitable to us. International tourism. Nowadays, it has become easier to travel because of the easy availability of a number of options of railway, marine, and air transport. Marine transport has linked the coastal regions. There is a trans European railway route. Aviation has brought the entire world closer. Because of the economic liberalization policy of the Indian government, the number of people traveling back and forth from India has increased considerably. They include people traveling for studies, relaxation, sightseeing, and professional assignments, meetings, agreements, etc., also for shooting of films, etc. One needs to procure various official documents for traveling abroad. Historical tourism. This type of tourism is popular all over the world. Tours of historical places are arranged to satisfy people's interest in history. It can be noted in this context that Gopal Neelkant Dandekar, a renowned Marathi writer, used to arrange hiking tours to forts in Maharashtra to explore the sites closely linked to Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj and his achievements. Tours are also arranged to important historical sites in India, such as forts in Rajasthan, ashrams of Mahatma Gandhi and Acharya Vinoba Bhave, important places related to the Indian War of Independence in 1857, etc. Valley of Flowers. This is the photograph of Valley of Flowers. You would like to know this. People of various religious communities are dispersed globally. However, they feel united because of their mythological traditions and the places associated with those traditions. This creates a desire to travel to those places and give rise to religious tourism. In this context, the constructions undertaken by Ahilyabai Holkar spending from her personal funds are noteworthy. Ahilyabai wanted to provide good amenities on the pilgrim routes like Chardham Yatras and Bara Jyotirlingas. Geography tourism. This type of tourism involves visiting places to observe special geographic features of a region. It includes various natural and animal sanctuaries, places like Valley of Flowers, Uttarakhand, various beaches, unique geographical wonders like the crater lake at Lonar and Ranjan Khalange, naturally covered out cavities in rocks at Nighoz in Maharashtra. Many tourists like to visit these places to satisfy their curiosity. Tourism. People from Western countries find the health services and facilities in India comparatively cheaper and yet of good standard. Hence, many foreigners prefer to come to India to avail of the medical facilities and health services. India is a tropical country where ample sunlight is available throughout the year. This attracts tourists from countries with cold climate to India. Availability of facilities for yoga training and therapies based on Ayurveda is one more reason to want to visit India. Agrotourism. Agrotourism, which is also known as agrotourism, is rapidly developing, especially meant for the urban population, which has very little exposure to rural life and agriculture. Now, Indian farmers are also visiting faraway places like agricultural research centers, agricultural universities, and countries like Israel, where experimentation in advanced technology of agriculture is carried out. Sports tourism. Sports tourism was developed in the 20th century. There are various sports events organized on international level like Olympics, Wimbledon, World Chess Championship and international cricket tournaments, etc. While there are events like Himalayan Car Rally on national level, events like Maharashtra Kesari wrestling competitions are organized on state level. Traveling to attend such events comes under sports tourism. Tourism based on special events. People want to travel and they are often on the outlook for special reasons to do it. In the 21st century, it has become common to organize such events, which also help to promote tourism. Film festivals, various types of seminars and conferences, international book exhibitions, etc., are examples of such special events. People keep visiting several places to attend such special events. Many literature enthusiasts in Maharashtra travel every year to attend Akhil Bharatiya Marathi Sahitya Sammelan, Pan India Marathi, Pan Indian Marathi Literary Convention. Let us find out. Apart from the types of tourism mentioned above, there are other types like science tourism, leisure and relaxation tourism, also known as wellness tourism, cultural tourism, and group tourism, etc. Let us find more about it on the internet with the help of the teachers. Then section 8.3 Development of Tourism. The crucial issue in the development of tourism is providing proper guidance to national and international tourists about various aspects of the actual travel, proper social conduct during the tour and during their stay at the destination places. To this, gather more information about the Swachh Bharat drive, giving priority to ensure safe transport and security facilities for the tourists, amenities of reasonably good standard, availability of good accommodation, good washroom facilities on the travel routes is of great significance in promoting tourism. It is also very important to pay special attention to the special needs of handicapped tourists. It is important to take a few primary precautions in order to preserve the historical heritage sites. It is essential that few things should be avoided at any instance. For example, vandalizing or defacing the heritage monuments and sites. In order to avoid it, everybody should refrain from activities like writing on walls or carving on trees, paint ancient monuments in garish colors, etc. Lack of good amenities in the precincts of the heritage sites cause filthiness. It is very essential for the tourists that pamphlets, guides, and history books about a tourist site be available in their own language. Hence, such literature should be available in various languages. It would be helpful if the taxi drivers are trained to converse in more than one languages. They may also be trained as tourist guides. Can you tell what facilities should be made available to the tourists? How would you behave with the tourist if you are the local person at a tourist site? This is the picture of Gharapuri caves. Try this. Collect pictures and photos of the cultural, natural and mixed heritage sites in India with the help of internet. This is the picture of Kas Pathar. Kas Pathar. Then section 8.4 Conservation and preservation of heritage. It is a hard task to preserve and conserve heritage sites. Our country is very rich with historical sites dating to ancient, medieval and modern period. It is also blessed with abundance of nature. Heritage of any country is divided into natural heritage and cultural heritage, man-made. There are some heritage sites in India which are acclaimed globally, such as Taj Mahal at Agra, Jantar Mantar Observatory at Jaipur, and also the rock cut caves at Ajanta. Verul and Gharapuri, Elephanta, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj Railway Terminus in Maharashtra, Khas Plateau in Maharashtra is located in the Western Ghats, which is a World Natural Heritage Site. There are tourists all over the world who wish to visit World Heritage Sites. Foreign tourists come in large numbers to visit the heritage sites in our country. It makes us feel very proud when an Indian heritage site is declared as World Heritage Site. However, whenever we visit such places, we feel very disappointed because of what we see there. We get to see that people have written their names with charcoal, have drawn pictures vandalizing the heritage site. It affects our image as a nation. To preserve the heritage sites, we need to resolve that Number one, I shall strive to maintain the cleanliness of heritage sites. 2. I shall not do anything which will result in vandalizing of any historical site. Section 8.5, Professional opportunities in the tourism and hospitality industry. Tourism and hospitality is an industry with potential to create maximum employment opportunities. If managed professionally, it is a very stable industry. It has tremendous scope for experimentation and innovation. Before moving ahead, let's see these boxes. Heritage walks. To go on a tour for visiting historical places is known as heritage walk. One can experience the thrill of being a part of history by participating in heritage walks. Heritage walks as an organized group activity has gained popularity in many countries. India has a rich history which can be traced back to many millenniums. Every region of India is full of historical places from ancient, medieval, and modern period. The heritage walk organized in the city of Ahmedabad is well known. In the cities of Mumbai and Pune in Maharashtra, such walks are organized regularly. Heritage walks can be encourage people to support projects like conservation and preservation of historical monuments, to collect authentic information about them and to publish it through various media. Residences of renowned citizens who have passed away are also part of heritage. In some cities, blue plaques with the names and other relevant information of such citizens are placed on their residences as part of heritage scheme. Try this. Organize heritage walks with the help of your teachers as part of educational tours to historical places. A good number of opportunities of employment are available in the tourism and hospitality industry. The country, which is a tourist destination, begins to receive revenue even before a tourist arrives at the airport of that country. He has to pay for his visa, he spends for his travel, stay in hotels, food payment of translators and guides, buying newspapers, reference books, souvenirs, etc. This contributes to the growth of economy of that country. Markets in the vicinity grow along with the development of a tourist center. Hence, the local handicrafts and cottage industries also begin to develop. The demand for locally processed food items and ethnic handicrafts increases. It results in better income for local artisans, business people, and wage earners. Development of tourism in Maharashtra. Maharashtra is a state blessed with rich heritage. The much admired rock cut caves, paintings, and sculptures of Ajanta, Verul, and Garapuri, Elephanta, pilgrim centers like Dehu, Alandi, Jejuri, Pandharpur, Shirdi, Shegaon, Tuljapur, Kolhapur, Nashik, Trambake, Trambakeshwar, Paithan, Haji Malang, Gurdwara at Nanded, Mount Mary Church in Mumbai, etc. Hill stations like Mahabaleshwar, Panchgani, Khandala, Lonavala, Matheran, Chikaldara, etc. Dams at Koyana Nagar, Jayakwadi, Bhatgar, Chandoli, etc., and sanctuaries at Dazipur, Sagareshwar, Tadoba, etc., are among the important tourist centers in Maharashtra. The Maharashtra Tourism Development Corporation was set up in 1975. It helped in the development of tourism in Maharashtra. The corporation has provided facilities of tourist hotels at 47 places. Together, these hotels can accommodate more than 4,000 tourists. Many private entrepreneurs are also providing hospitality services to tourists. You know, an unusual village of books. Bilar is a village near Mahabaleshwar which boasts of natural beauty and sweetness of strawberry. It is also known as the village of books. पुस्तकांच्या गाव आम्हा घरी धन शब्दांची रत्ने. Every household in this village maintains a library of its own for the tourists to enjoy. Maharashtra state government has implemented this scheme with a view to accelerate the reading culture movement for the reader tourists to enjoy the beauty of Marathi literature enriched by the works of old and new authors and saints. It includes various types of texts like biographies, autobiographies, fiction poetry, literature by women, literature on sports, literature for kids, etc. If you go to Mahabaleshwar, make it a paint, make it a point to visit Bilar as well. Can you tell what kind of new occupations were introduced in the surroundings of your village, town because of growing tourism? What difference could be observed in the lifestyle of people in the surroundings of your village, town because of growing tourism? You would like to know this. Cultural tourism includes activities like visiting educational institutes of repute, trying to get a glimpse of local culture, history, and traditions, visiting historical monuments at a place, trying to appreciate the achievements of local people, and also participating in the local festivals of dance, music, etc. Do you know Mahabaleshwar and Panchgani are hill stations? Thousands of tourists arrive here. These tourists are accompanied by guides who provide relevant information on the sightseeing tour. At some places, photographers are present to click nice snaps for the tourists. Housekeepers provide horses for horse rides and horse cart rides. It is the local people who are engaged in these activities and they can earn good money for their services. In short, tourism becomes a major source of their livelihood. So this is the lesson exercises we will do in next session.